Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and in today's video we are going to be talking about 5 tips for you to stay alive a lot longer. I see a lot of people having issues with this, but don't worry, I'm here to help. But if you guys are really looking to take your Apex skill to the next level, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there we have top level coaches, including myself, creating the best, most highly informative guides you will ever find. It doesn't matter if you want to get better positioning, decision making, aim, learn a new legend, learn some other skills, we have guides for you. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to improve today. But okay, jumping into things, let's go right into stuff and talk about tip number 1, stop jumping. Now this might seem a little bit out there for a lot of people. What do you mean stop jumping? Well, in a fight, a lot of people tend to just panic jump. For some reason, they have it in their head that if they're jumping, they're a lot more elusive and it's harder to track them. But it's actually the exact opposite. When you jump, you are actually put onto a set trajectory where you have very little control over your character. When you have very little control and you're on a set trajectory, do you know what you are? Predictable. And if you're predictable, you're probably going to die. I can't tell you guys how many times I'm playing somebody like Vantage and I'm able to get so many easy kills because I tag somebody once with my sniper rifle, they jump and it's a free second shot. As long as you know just the basics of how someone's jump trajectory is going to go, you can pretty much every single time reliably hit that second shot. So how do you change this? Well, every time you thought you were going to jump, just switch it to a crouch or a slide. These are a lot better because if you're crouching in mid-fight, you're a lot more elusive because if you crouch, you change your head hitbox and then you're also still able to change the direction of your character. If you're moving left and then crouch, you can instantly change the direction to the right, but if you're moving left and jump, you have to wait for the trajectory to be over before you can go to the right. And if you're running somewhere and you get shot at, if you jump, again, you're on the same trajectory, but if you slide, not only does it speed your character up, but it changes your hitbox and you can be a little bit more decisive because you can cancel the slide and start running. It's just small little details like this that a lot of people don't even think about that gets them killed a lot of times. But now let's move into tip number 2, and this is to stop being the hero. This is more of an issue for solo queuers, but I have seen it a lot when people are playing with their friends as well because they want to show off. But when you guys are in these types of situations, don't be the hero. There's no need for you to try to be this anime protagonist standing out in the middle of a field facing down 1,000 people. If you try to do that, you're more than likely going to get killed. You are not It's Timmy. It's not going to work out for you. What you need to do is just focus on your one job. Let your teammates do their job, and then you guys can actually work as a cohesive ball. And I know some people are going to be saying, well, I solo queue. My teammates don't do anything. Well, then play off of them. They're going to do what they want to do. So as long as you just kind of go with the flow and work off of them, you can still do your job in a fight. I see way too many people try to be the hero and then they dive headfirst into a group of people and then they die and they're like, well, where's my team? Well, maybe your teammates didn't have the same angle that you did. Maybe they don't have mobility. Maybe they just did not have the same game plan, so they weren't set up to do that. But because you tried to be the hero, you threw yourself into a position that was not good for the team, and now you've just thrown the fight for your teammates. Stop trying to be the hero, do the job that you need to do, let your teammates do their job. But let's move into tip number 3 now, and this is playing the right legend for your playstyle. Every legend has a job in the team and has a role in the team, and you need to be focusing on that job before you start to look to help in other situations. Now, this is going to be a little bit hard for some people because they have a legend that they really like to play. But sometimes the legend that you like to play doesn't fit the role that you want to play. Say you really want to be an entry fragger, you like being aggressive, you want to be the first in a fight, so you can't play somebody like Gibraltar. He's not built for that specific role. There are certain roles on a team that each legend falls into. Gibraltar is a support. Watson is a support. Bloodhound is a secondary fragger. Wraith is an entry fragger. But if you play the legend in a role that they're not supposed to be played, their abilities and usefulness just goes straight out the window. To give another example, if you play somebody like Octane as a support, you're sitting in the back, you're not doing what he's meant to do. He's meant to be get up in your face, take a lot of attention off your teammates, get in and out, dive, duck, dodge, dip, dive, dodge. That whole stuff is his jam. But again, if you're using him just sitting in the back line, you're not getting the usefulness out of his kit and you're not doing the job that he's meant to do. So in order to sort this out for yourself, all you really need to do is just sit down and think to yourself, hey, what do I want to do for the team? What job do I want to have? What legend fits that job? And do I like playing that legend? And if the legend that you want to play doesn't fit that playstyle, maybe you just want to switch your playstyle. I'm going to give another example here and actually use myself. When I first started getting into competitive, I really liked Watson, but I was more of an aggressive player at the time. So instead of trying to fit Watson into a role where she didn't really work, I just swapped my playstyle to be more of a support, and that worked a lot better for me. And it turns out I actually really like playing support. And if you guys are sitting there saying, well, what legends fit into what rules? Well, lucky for you, we have a video that covers that on this YouTube channel, so go check that out after this one. But now let's kind of roll into tip number 4, and this kind of plays off the legend one, but this is also using the right loadout. This is another issue that a lot of people don't really think about, but you have to use the right loadout for the situations that you are going to go into, or it's going to get you killed. If you are playing super up close and personal 99% of the time and you're using a sniper rifle, that's no bueno. Those are not good in those types of ranges. So if you're going to be up close and personal, use an SMG, use a shotgun, use an assault rifle, something like that. But vice versa, if you're going up into a lot of really long range poke battles and somebody's on the other end with a sniper rifle and you're sitting there with 2 SMGs, you're going to lose that battle and also die. So whenever you first land into a game, try to decide with your team, what's the game plan? What are you guys going to try and do? And then once you kind of figure that out, if you're going to play zone, it's going to be more poke heavy, grab a marksman rifle, grab a sniper rifle. But if you're going to be playing edge or getting into a lot more skirmishes that are going to be more close range, grab a gun combo that works for that, because then you're going to be dying a lot less because your gun combo is actually going to be working the same way that you intend to play. This is kind of like the jumping versus crouching one, where it just has to become second nature for you to pick the right gun combo for the type of vibe that your team has. And again, if you're solo queuing, it might be a little bit difficult, but just ask your team. Be like, hey, what do you guys want to do? A little communication goes a long way. But now let's jump into tip number 5, and probably the most important tip, ego peeking. This is something that gets people killed the most in Apex. You peek out to shoot somebody, they absolutely rip you for like 120 damage, but you do next to no damage to them. But you think, hey, I can't let them just absolutely obliterate me like that, so I'm gonna peek them again and show them that I'm actually better, and then you just die because of it. That is what is referred to as an ego peek, where your ego cannot take getting absolutely dumpstered on, so you try to go back for more. And this leads to a lot of issues, especially when a fight first breaks out, because other teams are looking for opportunities to push off of. And if they rip you and then you peek again and they down you off of it, they're gonna push. And that potentially loses your team the fight because your ego couldn't take just healing up. This is going to be a habit that is going to be hard to break, because you really need to sit there and like stop yourself from actually peeking out again. A lot of the times this has just become second nature to people, where they try to peek out, get ripped, and they just go back for more without even thinking about it. It's just autopilot at this point. But if you really want to stop dying in Apex, then you need to have the mental fortitude to stop yourself and be like, hey, this isn't a good idea, let's not do this. Kind of a good rule of thumb to go off of when you first start to get into the habit of breaking ego peeking is this: if they deal more than half of your shield damage to you, then you just need to heal up. Say if you have white armor and they do 25 damage to you, that is half of your shield and you just need to pop a shield cell. If you have purple shield and they do 50 damage to you, that's half your shield. Pop a shield cell or battery or something like that. I do understand that this is going to be changing situation to situation and it's not going to be perfect, but it is just a general rule of thumb for you to kind of get a baseline to go off of. Then as you grow as a player, you can kind of start to change it and work around based on what you need as a player. But let me know what you personally have issues with in Apex and you might inspire the next video. And if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thanks all for watching. Once again, I made Second Game, and I'll see you guys in the next one.